Hey guys, Andy here with VSiN, getting you set for Sunday's NHL action. We've got two matchups that get underway on Sunday. We've got the Boston Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning. But first, let's talk a little bit about the Western Conference matchup between the Vancouver Canucks and the Vegas Golden Knights. The Vegas Golden Knights were able to get by the Chicago Blackhawks in 5 games with relative ease, dominating the Blackhawks in terms of shot attempts and scoring chances. However, the skill of the Chicago Blackhawks kept it closer than most people would have expected. And that's sort of how I would sum up this next series against the Vancouver Canucks. The Vegas Golden Knights come into this one as minus 305 favorites. The Canucks plus 255 underdogs. That implies that the Golden Knights have about a 73% chance of winning this series. By my estimation, the Vancouver Canucks should win this thing about 29% of the time, giving the Golden Knights about a 71% chance. That translates to a fair line of minus 245. So, believe it or not, a little bit of value on the Canucks, but not enough to warrant a bet. Less than a 1% edge, and I would be looking for, let's say, plus 280 or better before I would consider backing the Canucks in this spot. This matchup poses a little bit more of a challenge for the Vegas Golden Knights. This Vancouver Canucks team is better than the Chicago Blackhawks. They've got more high-end skill in their lineup. However, they do match up pretty similarly to the Blackhawks in a lot of meaningful categories. So that's why the Vegas Golden Knights are such a big favorite here. Another factor here is rest, and the Vegas Golden Knights have a lot more of it than the Vancouver Canucks. The Vegas Golden Knights were able to wrap up their series versus the Blackhawks on the 18th, which was Tuesday. The Canucks, however, weren't able to get the job done until Friday. If this series between the Canucks and the Golden Knights reaches the 6th game, it will be the 10th game in 17 days. Of course, there's no travel, but that is a pretty tough grind for a team, especially considering the intensity of playoff hockey. Another thing that's worth monitoring is whether or not Tyler Toffoli will slot back into the lineup. He won't make a big difference either way, but the Canucks can't afford to pass up on any secondary scoring that they can get their hands on. Of the 24 teams that were invited to return to play, the Blackhawks were the worst of the bunch. The Vegas Golden Knights were one of the best. That's why we saw the line close around minus 350 in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, I don't think the Vancouver Canucks are as bad as the Blackhawks. In fact, I think they're a middle-of-the-road team that might be slightly above average based on their high-end skill. And that means that I really think this should be priced closer to minus 250, minus 245. So like I said, a little bit of value on the Vancouver Canucks. Not enough to warrant a bet though. If this series goes the Vegas Golden Knights' way, they'll win it in 4 games, roughly 13% of the time. In 5 games, about 21% of the time. In 6 games, about 20% of the time. And they'll get it done in 7, roughly 17% of the time. If this one goes the way of the Vancouver Canucks, they'll get it done in 4 games, roughly 2.5% of the time. In 5 games, about 6% of the time. In 6 games, roughly 9.5% of the time. And in 7 games, that'll happen about 11% of the time. Now let's get into the one that everyone surely wants to talk about, the Boston Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is about as big of a marquee matchup that we'll see in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's too bad it couldn't happen in the conference finals, but that's the way things ended up. So we're going to enjoy it nonetheless, and I've got a play on this series as well. Bookmakers have the Lightning listed as a minus 120 series favorite, the Boston Bruins a plus 100 series underdog. That implies that the Lightning should win this series about 52% of the time. Now, there are plenty of reasons to like either team in this one, and if you were to say the Tampa Bay Lightning should be the favorite, I would not argue with you. I have the Boston Bruins as the small favorite, though. Minus 113 is what I believe the line should be, meaning I think the Bruins will win this series about 53% of the time. So there is some value at plus 100 or better. If you shop around, you might even find plus 105. There's not a whole lot separating these two teams according to Evolving Hockey. They have very similar 5-on-5 goal differentials and expected goal differentials. On the power play, however, Boston gets the slight edge as they were expected to generate almost a full goal more than the Lightning were on a per 60-minute basis. And of course, there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding Lightning superstar Steven Stamkos. I've got him listed at 50-50 to play in this series, meaning I've got a little bit of his talent incorporated into my handicap, but I don't think we'll see him right away. I could be wrong. There isn't a whole lot of information out there if he is to go. That brings this one closer to a coin flip. And with that being said, I'm taking a little bit of a chance here backing the Bruins at plus 100, plus 105. But if you are able to get that plus 105 price, I think you'll still have a little bit of value even if Stamkos is to suit up in Game 1. So there you go, a play on the Boston Bruins at plus 100 or better. That's it for me. I'll be back on Monday to talk about the Philadelphia Flyers and the New York Islanders. That matchup gets underway on Monday evening. Gamble responsibly, have fun, and enjoy all the hockey action.